Don't ever let your struggle make you bitter. There's a calling on your life, so keep on growing. Keep your head up. The hardest thing about your growth is that you can't see it. I know it's dark right now, but please keep believing.
Right there, it would have been a nice time for the drop. Right here.
We can do this here, watch me rock the flow. Killing it a must, never optional.
Spent guys at the crab table, still ain't signed to a rap label. DVD when I ain't have cable. I got balls, he ain't rap able. A 6D for me is mad fatal. Can't see me like a bad angle.
Absolutely, ain't going nowhere. We will be forever and ever and ever.
Peace, beautiful family. This is Dr. Walter Hidalgo, and this is the Know Thyself Show. The Know Thyself Show, aka podcast, utilizes the metaphor of the shelf in order to extrapolate the self. And the way we do that is we invite guests to come in and share something about themselves. And before I introduce my guest, I want to run through the agenda. As always, check out the website, www.knowthyshow.tv. There you can get a copy of my book. I got to send you that, Aaron. Beyond the Four Walls, the Rising Ministry and Spirituality of Hip Hop. Over 10 years in the making. Definitely check it out. It's been used in workshops. It's been used for master's thesis, doctoral dissertations. Something definitely I recommend an educator to have under their tool belt. If you're looking for any coaching, we do home coaching. Check out the Elite Method. We go to kids' homes between the ages of 4 and 14 and provide sports development skills, social emotional skills. So it's kind of like Big Brother meets your personal coach, right? The other thing we always do is I always like to shout out a group of individuals, and today I want to give a big shout out to all my papas, my dads, anybody representing that masculine energy, we need it, God, we need it, in this world,
Yeah.
Because we all got some type of daddy issue, just a little bit. It happens I grew up with both parents, but even so, me and my dad had our issues. It's important, the dad, I want to give a big shout out to all my motivational speakers, Anybody that goes in front of an audience and just shares their story, distills information, so important, because what did Dr. Cone say? You must find your voice, and share it to the world. I want to give a big shout out to any human being that works with young people, because it's not easy, man. We get the bottom of the barrel. I'm talking about budget wise. I'm talking about resource wise. We got to start literally from the bottom, literally and figuratively with their ages, right? But it's such a calling from the divine, because I got somebody here that I respect, that I admire, that I'm proud of. My brother from another, Aaron Patterson. What's good?
Appreciate you for having me, man. It's Patterson, but it's cool. I sure.
Oh, Patterson, that's right. Yeah. Man, thank you for clarifying that.
It's long overdue, though. It's long overdue.
Yo, man, listen, I met my brother here from my cousin Nando. Shout out. Who, as we speak, is in Brazil. Obrigado to all my Brasileños. You know what I mean? But as we always do, I like to contextualize stuff, Aaron. And it's interesting because Moses' brother is Aaron,
The mouthpiece.
You know what I mean? Now let me get started. Anyways, listen. So, if we were to jump into a time machine and step back to a younger A, right? What would we see? What would we hear? What would we smell? Because you're originally from?
So I'd say Boston, Mass, but Attleboro, Massachusetts. A lot of people don't know where that's at.
Beantown, stand up, Attleboro. I know because I'm originally from the south side of Providence, Rhode Island. So we neighbors.
You know where Attleboro at.
Oh, okay. I very know. I have family that grew up in Attleboro, still living in Attleboro.
Okay.
They went to Attleboro High. You know what I'm saying? Yep, yes, sir. Hey, talk to us about Attleboro, man, because people don't know. Just give us a walkthrough of the neighborhood.
Oof. So Attleboro is a melting pot. It's so technically it's the suburbs, like technically it's the suburbs, but we had a train station. So a lot of different ethnicities and cultures would come in and out of Attleboro. Like a lot of people, when they were trying to escape the hood, they would come to Attleboro. Like a lot of people would come to Attleboro for their new life, but they didn't change. So they would come to Attleboro and be on the same type of time. So somehow me and my friend group, we found all the bad kids. It was just like, so I had a good, nice household. Parents from Diana, well, I say good and nice from the standpoint of like, they had morals. But when I leave the house, everyone I was around didn't have them. So I just naturally gravitated towards these kids, and these kids gravitated towards me. Like I got friends that I came up with that are in prison right now, or like it's in really bad situations. You know what I mean? So it wasn't always sweet. But yeah, it had black, Spanish, white, Asian. It was real diverse. It was a melting pot. So every single ethnicity was kind of represented in Attleboro. And it's just crazy that now in the future, God strategically placed me in that place, because now it's like I'm talking to every different type of ethnicity, and I'm comfortable in the room. Like I could talk to anybody because I just wasn't around one group of people, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's I wouldn't even say it's community vibes, if I'm being honest. It's like kind of every man for himself, but that's really the East. You have your group of people and you stick to them. That's just kind of how it is. But yeah, it shaped me. It molded me. I still got friends from Attleboro to this day that I stay connected with. Yeah, it made me the man I am, for better and for worse.
And I want to talk about, because I talk a lot about this too, because on a global scale, people migrate all the time. We talk a lot about international migration. We don't talk enough about internal migration, because you went from MA to ATL.
Oh yeah, it's
you feel me? I know. I've been to the ATL. Of course. Shout out to Sinister. He's a battle rapper. I gotta connect you with him. Woo. Okay. So talk to without giving too deep into your personal life, only what you willing to share. What was the justification or reasoning behind that, going from Northeast to Southeast? Because a lot of people do that.
Yeah, so I was knee deep in like the rapping. I just opened up for like Kendrick, and I had a lot of traction. I was doing my thing. I was bubbling, but I was empty. A lot in the world, empty. So I came to Atlanta for a music conference called AC3.
Yes, and I'm familiar. Yep.
So when I came with my homie Dakota G, so when I got here, I was like, bro, something feels different. Because I had traveled to Cali, I've been other places, and I was never like, I belong here. But when I came to Atlanta, there was something about like the air and the energy. It has never left me. I was like, man, I feel like this is like my real home, if that makes sense. But I went back to Attleboro, and I went back to doing what I was doing, and I came back again with my brother because he was trying out for a CFL team, and I'm like, I'm gonna be back in Atlanta. So I came to film his whole progress, and ended up going to a concert, and I heard about a school called Atlanta School of Ministry. Through that concert, I just graduated from college, and I grabbed a flyer, went back to Boston, and I was just like doing my thing. But then something about Atlanta just wouldn't leave me, and I was like, I'm just going. So I was trying to play tricks with God, and I was like, I'm gonna go to this ministry school so I can have room and board, and I don't gotta worry about surviving. And I'm just gonna be in Atlanta, be in the scene, and become a rapper and all that.
Like that was your ticket. That was
my ticket, like to be in Atlanta, because I was like, the tuition was dumb cheap. It was like $5,000 a year, and they let you work it off through jobs. So I'm like, I'm gonna be in Atlanta. I could work it off through jobs, and I could just. So I did that, and then God just radically just shifted my focus in my life once I got to Atlanta. But my mindset was, I'm gonna go to this ministry school, and I'm just gonna do this rap thing. But then when I got there, everything shifted. But that's how I kind of got.
Yo, well, I'm getting goosebumps right now. Super briefly, my story, coming from RI, went to undergrad in Northeastern University, the Bean Town, right? That's mine, right? But then I took a little gap, and I went to graduate school at Union Theological Seminary at Columbia University, right?
What's Columbia?
Union Theological Seminary.
No, I said West. Yeah, where's Columbia?
Oh, Columbia and New York City, Columbia
New
University.
York? Okay, New York. Okay.
Yep. And what I thought, I just, it was my ticket to go to New York because I always knew I was going to live in New York, having friends, having fam, but not knowing that the divine was working in me through that university.
Thanks.
You gave me the easy layup right now. Okay. So I'm loving this. I'm loving this right now because I got to say, we from the hood, man. Like I always say I'm from the South Side, I lived in the Bronx for a while. I've been to ATL, I've been all over this planet, man. I've seen a lot of these hoods, right? And it's fascinating to me to see, because you were spitting that, still do, but transformation. This transformation I've seen you throughout these years as an outsider looking in, my dude. Talk to us about that journey, man. What happened? Was it a scripture? Was it somebody that was introduced to you? Was it an aha moment? Talk to me.
Transformation is the perfect word because it did happen overnight. It was like slow. It was slow. My mom, I grew up seeing my mom praise God and all that. So like the God bug was in me, but I was like, I'm trying to chill with the homies. So it was always in the back of my mind, like God felt like this far off guy that just judged people and sent them to hell. So I knew he was real, but I'm like, I ain't trying to fool with him like that. So there was always in the back of my mind, but then I was just living life. I was getting success. I was getting girls. I was achieving money and I was doing these things, but I still felt empty. And I'm like, why don't I feel complete? Like, why don't I feel fulfilled? And I'm around all my friends and I'm in the middle of blunt rotations having these conversations. They're looking at me like, Aaron, shut up. So I'm just like, as I look around, I'm like, is nobody feeling what I'm feeling? Like, so I started feeling crazy because every time I try to talk to somebody around me about what I was feeling inside, it was like, man, just hit the blunt, bro. Like, well, just be quiet, bro. So I was like, okay, I got to change my environment because I want to grow and I want to change, but literally nobody around me wants to. So I was like, I gotta do something drastic. So I'm like, okay. So I started off just kind of reading the Bible. But when I touched down in Atlanta, I was still rough around the edges. Like I was still ready to fight people. I was doing every single thing I was doing in the world. I was still doing it, but slowly God started changing my desires. So I tell people all the time, like, bro, if you really trying to get to God, come as you are. Don't feel like you gotta be all dressed up and nice and cute, and then God gonna love. Like, nah, come as you are. And if you spend time with Him for real, and your heart is genuine, He gonna change you. Like 100% success rate. He gonna change you if your heart is pure and genuine. So it was like over time, it's like, okay, my desires started changing. So eventually, it was like what I desired was righteousness. Like what I desired was loving people. Like it's just who I am now. So now I can't even say like I did anything. All I did was submit. And once I submitted, then just my whole world, found my wife, found my calling, found my purpose. I still rap and I still do these things, but it's like I got a specific purpose. Yeah. And that's what you see now is like I'm unapologetic about like what He called me and told me to do. And can't no one convince me He not real. Can't no one convince me it's not what I'm called to do because like I know that I know now. But it was so now it's been an 8-year process. I've been in Atlanta for 8 years. I'll say once I got to year 3 or 4, that's when I was like, okay, like we ready. But God had to really take me out the environment to like really get what He needed to get inside of me. And now I could go back home and I could really just go back and reach the people He's called me to reach without compromising, if that makes sense.
Oh no, absolutely. Listen, I always love that. You feel me? When churches have that in front of them, come as you are.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's the most authentic version of yourself.
Because
we live in a world, right, where people, I forget the line from Common, but something in the lines of, we see outside of you. You can dress, you can cover this all you want, but if the inside is not looking pretty, it don't even matter, And we see it from a mile away. The
Nice.
divine sees it from a super mile away. So you can play the front all you want. And trust me, yo, I'm speaking to myself too. Eh? You feel me?
I used to do it too, though.
Yo, you feel me? So I gotta, cause you know, as we always do, we invite guests to share something from their shelf. You already told me it's the breaking the cycle. You know why I really, yep, do that.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I gotta. Oh, and by the way, I've been meaning to tell you, I'm gonna definitely cop that.
Say less,
You want to know why? Because you know what's interesting about this, Abe? Again, the way the divine's working, yo.
Yeah.
One of the first episodes I did, because we're going on what 5-6 years, man.
Oh wow.
And the first one, and it got rebooted during the pandemic, and one of the titles of the pod episode was "Break the Cycle." Oh my God. Man. That's why when I saw that, I was, first of all, I was like, damn, he took the merch idea because I was thinking about it.
Oh, when you first saw me put it out.
Yeah. But I was like, no, I would, because I'm not like that, my dude. I never hate, I congratulate, and I love it because someone need to say that. And we all need to hear that.
Thanks.
We're living in a world, my dude, where suicide rates with young people, depression, dumb retarded, like respectfully I say that, like superficiality. I loved how Charlemagne the God, he talks about healing. Yeah, I love that one episode he had a shirt that said heal.
That's real.
And you know, I'm even talking about the church, man. The church needs a lot of healing too.
Oh, bad.
So let me not go there. But I really just want to talk about breaking the cycle. Where'd it come from? What does that mean to you?
So for me, I launched it during quarantine. I was down bad. I just got fired from my job. I just got married. My wife was pregnant, and there was no rap shows. And I was like trying to be a full-time rapper this time.
Yeah.
I was all shut down. I'm in my room recording, and I got my wife looking at me like, "Bro, we barely got any food to eat. Are you trying to record a song? Like, what you got going on? Like Aaron, like, wake up."
If I had $1 for every time I heard that from family, friends, the world, dude. Go ahead, go.
She was like, "Aaron, like, wake up! Like, what do you?" We have ramen and water in our fridge, and you're in the back recording for 5 hours. It's like, nah, babe, I'm trying to make it. But then, even though I was offended, I started praying about it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, God, like, obviously, maybe she's seeing something like I'm not seeing. And I was like, okay, God, is there something you want me to do? If you want, because I got a degree. I'm like, if you want me to go work some job I hate in a cubicle to provide for my family, I will do that. But if there's something else you're trying to get me to see and show me, like, let me know. I was praying on it, and I heard a phrase clear as day in my brain. It said, break the cycle. And I was like, that's corny. Break the cycle. So, like, I got the name, and I'm trying to run with it. So I'm going to ask all my mentors. And it's crazy, even in this, I learned a lesson, like, just because always bring it to God. I'm like, what you think of the name Break the Cycle? They were like, you can maybe do a t-shirt, but, like, for a whole, like, brand, like, I don't know, man. I don't think it's catchy enough. And I'm like, dang, for real? So for the next 2-3 months, I'm still trying to come up with different names to start a clothing line. I'm like, you know what? Maybe like Viper or Well Done. I'm just trying to think of everything. Yeah. And nothing would stick. And I remember going to my wife. I was like, babe, I can't think of something. She was like, Aaron, I don't know what God already spoke to you. I don't know what you're doing. Now you're just being disobedient. It's like, dang. Okay, it's Break the Cycle. So once I was like, okay, that's what it is, I start going on YouTube. I started studying what this phrase really means.
You on your Job tip, eh?
I was on my Job tip. So in my small mind, I was just thinking like, okay, in our Black and brown communities, we got a lot of trauma, we got a lot of cycles, man, we need to break them. And I just want to break the cycle of fatherlessness, because I was like, my dad was low-key not the best father.
Talking about that, yeah.
So I was like, that's what I was doing. So I just put out some t-shirts, and it just started booming. We made like $2,000 in the first week. Our first shirt was Jesus over politics. And around that time in 2020, it just hit, because everyone was like, even people that weren't Christians were like, I am tired of fighting about this stuff, y'all. Like, so it was like the shirt just started booming, kept growing. Then once I planted my seed in the ground, I got all these addicts hitting me up and people whose parents went through abuse, and they're all like, oh, I relate to that because I was abused and I want to abuse my children, and my dad was an addict. And I was even thinking outside of just what I was thinking about, and all these other people started gravitating towards the phrase break the cycle because they came from some messed up stuff. So you never know somebody's story. So, and it's kept growing, it kept growing, it kept growing. Eventually I got a kiosk at a mall, and that's when it really started to boom, because now I'm seeing like people outside of my friends and family, just random strangers will just be walking the mall, and I'll have my hat on the mannequin. They'll stop and be like, I love that. And then I realized like I got something that's universal. No matter if you're black, white, Spanish, Asian, I don't care what color you are, how much money you have, when you hear that phrase, it does something in your mind because you know that you need to grow in the area. And it's been eating at you.
Yeah.
And you know, like, man, I want to fix this, but I don't know how. And it's so it's universal. So now I'm getting into creating like curriculums and a lot of stuff I got.
Yes. Oh,
so it started off really small, but now it's just and trying to manage it all.
It's interesting. Yo, I'm loving this. I'm loving it right now. In that episode, just something for your tool belt, unless you know about this. One of the things when I was studying and doing research for my postgraduate studies for pastoral, we call it the pastoral circle, but where you would use what psychologists call the genogram. Have you heard of the genogram?
You told me about that. I started looking it up.
Oh my God! Yes, yeah. We see. This is the old man age in me right now. Did you? What? Isn't that deep? That's deep. That genogram, right?
That stuff runs in your family and passes it all that. Yeah.
Yeah, yo, because there's so many. Yeah, there's so many elements and things that you can add to your tool belt. So I guess this is the question that I gotta ask you, because you've been doing these workshops, yo. Because I'm watching, man. People are always watching. Hey. I'm watching you, my dude, respectfully, like a pause, as Dame Dash says, but I'm saying...
Oh, no, so you ain't got to pause that. I appreciate that. I wish more men could be real and say that. Like,
yeah.
I know what you got going on, bro. Like,
yeah, no, and it's never, because, what I hate, I always say what I hate is having a tough experience recognizing self. I was going to create that t-shirt, my dude. But you're more than welcome to pick it up, because we got to break this cycle. And how do we break this cycle? Stop hating, man. And congratulate people, yo. Because you is I and I is you. And who are we? The reflection of the divine. You feel me? So when you win, we all win. How you work with young people, right? You do this work ministerially. You're a teacher. I mean, you are. How does one heal thyself? What's one thing? What's one little tidbit or recommendation you would give for someone to heal thyself?
So how I approach it, I feel like you can't heal until you identify. Because if you're just, let's say you drinking 10 times a week. That's like the symptom.
Yeah.
But there's an underlying sickness. So what I always start with is we got to get to the root. If you want to change the fruit in your life, we got to try to dig and find that root.
Yeah.
So you just try to change the behavior. You might for a little bit, but then you might go back to it.
Right.
But until you deal with that root, like, okay, my daddy issues created rejection trauma for me. So now even with my wife as an adult, if she says something that's upset with me, I get triggered. If I didn't understand that's rooted in me feeling like my dad didn't love me, I had to perform to be loved. If I didn't understand that, then, now I know that's the root. So when my wife gets mad at me for not taking out the trash, I don't got to get triggered. And it'd be small little things. Or if she's like disappointed in me, I don't have to go to a crazy place and be like, that root of rejection is trying to pop his head again.
Ooh.
She's not. It's really my trauma and I'm being affected by it. But that took me, I didn't realize that until like probably our third year of marriage. So our first 3 was a little rough because I'm getting triggered by stuff, and I'm just like, but when I got to the root, so I say even in a young child, they got anger issues. You being like, breathe and count to 5. That might work. But no, let's get to the root of why you're so angry. Let's talk about what was your childhood like? Were you bullied? Let's talk about how do you see yourself?
Yeah.
Like that is, once you get to the root of somebody's problems, then you can get to the behavior after. So I think a lot of times the church gets it wrong is we just try to slap a scripture on stuff.
Yo,
Yeah, I love scripture, but it's like we need to have healing, like you said, healing work, like inner healing, and let's get to the root of why you do what you do, and then let's try to fix it. So that's my thing, is like, let's identify the cycle, how it got there, like put it in the light, and then we could work on how to change it to heal it, if that makes sense.
I don't know why in my head I'm seeing you doing these things called break the cycle circles. Break the cycle circles, my dude. Like getting men, like even early fathers, like oh God, I gotta connect you with so many people. This is so important because we need more of this. And I want to also bridge this also to the church. I'm glad that I brought it up, but we're also holding the church accountable with this too, right? Because one thing I do appreciate, despite my love-hate relationship with the Pope, right? As an example, Catholics are doing what they're calling synodality, where they're actually going around to churches and having these conversations at local levels in parishes and churches. It's been going on for like 5 years now plus. They're gonna wrap it up this year, and for all this time, it started around COVID. It was conversations with people asking, what's the church doing with the community? What are your thoughts on GBLTQI in the church? What about women deacons? And this is Catholicism, right? Where we don't even have women but just thinking of the fact that we need to have this on a more macro level where we all sit down and have these really serious conversations about things that have resulted in repeat offenses. Because what you're talking about is we learn what we observed and see from our parents. Because to us, they were God first. See, our introduction to God is our parents, because they feed us, they love us, just like we want that from the divine. But if that's
or they hurt us,
right? Exactly. So, but it's like we see, we become what we see, and then naturally over time, it's going to indirectly manifest itself through our relationships with not just with our siblings or family, but our cousins, and then our neighbors, and then our friends, and it expands out. And then Aaron, let me tell you something, my brother. I'm 42 years old, my dude. Probably when this comes out, I'll be 43. I'm even understanding this now as a man, even with my partner, right? Like triggers the thing. It's like like we're coming from hostile environments. And it's either fight or flight. It's the psychology thing, And so when someone says something that triggers us, we're like, yo, what's up right now? You talking to me this way and you're saying something to me? So this is going to go up. Not just physically, but this in our head. And it creates a hostile situation and nothing ever gets fixed because it's just us going attacking each other. I'm really think this is so important that you're doing this, and it has to start with our young people because they don't know how to articulate this, let alone grown men sometimes. So I'm really loving what you're saying and doing. I want to switch it up real quick.
I think it was Frederick Douglass.
Yeah,
he said it's easier to change a child than an adult. I'm butchering the phrase. We basically saying like, if you could get to the youth, because a lot of adults are gonna be stuck in their ways. Not everyone's on the journey we on, being like.
That's right.
Especially if they're already successful, they're not going to be trying to hear nothing like, I got to change it. But like, if you can get to the youth, that's why I really like working with kids between 12 and 17.
Yes.
Because that's that age.
Yes.
Where 12 and 17 is when you first think you're a man or a woman, and you start to build your framework around life and like who you want to be. If that 12 to 17 years, you on some type of time, that's going to take a long time to reverse that cycle.
Yeah.
If you do not structure negativity through them years.
Absolutely. And you know what? And I have to say this, man. I do, right? It's not just that you also got the intellect and the spiritual maturity in you, and even me, I'll put in this, but we got the swag, we got the look, we're relevant.
You need that.
You feel me? Because respectfully, over 90% of the educators in this country are white women. respectfully, right? And there's
So that's real though. That's real.
There's cultural disconnect there, and
'Cause they got a lot of the knowledge, but
yo,
they can't
it's
relate.
like, yo, somebody looks at you and you're like, yo, look at this dude, yo. He look good. He got the style. He talking my talk. I'm probably gonna be him sometime in the future because he comes from where I come and he looks like me. So I can be that. I can be that mature, intelligent, funny, like vulnerable. That piece too. Like I don't need to play this front for you because we're in this academic setting. I'm actually I lived through this and I can drop some gems for you. Now we understanding this thing. You feel me? Speaking on that aesthetic, I want to switch it up real quick and talk about what KRS, my brother, calls higher infinite power, healing our people. Hip hop, yo. Higher infinite power, healing our people.
Like that.
Hip hop,
like
yes,
that.
sir.
Like that.
This is what you do. This is what we do. And man, you got bars, and man, you got beats.
I appreciate that.
Hip hop is 50 plus now. You know, talk to us. Yeah, talk to us because you right now living in one of the big, I know New York created it, but ATL has been riding this hip hop wave, them beats, like it's been, that's why it's beautiful that you're there because the synergy of down south, every person that touches down there, they connect with, they glue with people and they create. It's just versus other places where it's a little bit more animosity, hate, and territorial.
It's love here.
It's just a gumbo. It's just something in the air, yo. That's ATL, right? What does hip hop turning 50 mean to you? How do you see the culture? Just some reflections and thought on that. As somebody that's what they call a bar lord.
So I got a love-hate relationship with hip hop.
As I do.
Yeah, I've seen it change so many people's lives for the good, get their family out of crazy situations. I see young men who start off one way and now they're respectable, their fathers are entrepreneurs. But then also, because I'm with these kids, I see the effect NBA Youngboy got on them. I see the effect Lil Durk have on them, where I'm telling them one thing, but these dudes got way more money and they got more of what they want. So it's kind of like, I love that there's more rappers who are thought provoking and they're making full albums, but I feel like it is heavy gangster rap and that type of thing. So I feel like we're young in the grand scheme of music. We're young. So I feel like we're growing, but I want to see us create more institutions and stuff like that. I want to see us create more initiatives around like no violence. Like there's more. I want to see more rappers who are in the forefront who are positive. I feel like we got the Coles, we got the Kendrick, but even them, I would say they're still trying to dabble in the other stuff. I want to see like more KRS Ones. He was strictly righteousness. Yeah, I mean, I want to see more dudes like that rise to the top, and I feel like it's gonna come.
All right. If people want to reach out to you, connect with you, collaborate with you, give us all your information.
So you can hit me up at www.iamarronpatterson.com. That's my booking website. You can see my whole thing, what I do. If you want to hit me on IG, it's IAM_Aaron Patterson. And also you can check me out at breakthecyclegear.com. That's where the merch is at, and a lot of the mission and the heart is too. So yeah, hit me up. I'm open. I'll be real busy, but I'm gonna get back to you. I promise I will eventually. This is a pleasure, bro.
Oh, honor, my brother. Listen, like I said in the beginning, Nori and the Drink Champ says that you got to give flowers to people while they're still alive. My brother, I want to give you your flowers, your dandelions, your tulips, because I'm proud of you, man. That's real talk. As we always do, we end with a quote, and this comes to us from my brother, Les Brown. Love that dude. And it reads as such. Do what is easy, and your life will be hard. But do what is hard and your life will become easy. Take that one in.
I like that.
Me too. Peace, family.
I like that. I appreciate you, man.
You're ready. Salute.
Ferno, you spazzing.
Yeah.
I miss you
Maybe.
nevermore.
I'm back in my bag. I'm back in my bag.
I really do this. I can never stop. For real.
I'm back in my bag.
Yeah, I found me a wife. I'm taking advice. I'm living by faith. I'm rolling the dice. I cancel my soul. I'm bought with a price. Slept on the floor. Now I take flight. I built me a team. A star in the league. Living my ancestors' wildest dreams. I mean what I say. Say what I mean. I'm from the beam. They about green. The wisdom my home and land of my dreams. I ain't going back. I'm a valedictorian, top of class. Mama call said she proud of me. That's a win. I've been praying more. I worry less. Get these burdens up off my chest. Gotta save these souls so I can't rest. Tryna say I'm old, but I'm young and blessed. I'm back in my bag. Oh, you thought that I left? I could never fall off. Jesus Christ to the death. Want me throw up a prayer? Then I gotta go get it. Ain't no such thing as quitting. Dodge the bull like I'm Pippin. Boy, I'm back in my bag. But you thought that I left? I could never fall off. Never. Jesus Christ to the death. Watch me throw up a prayer. Then I gotta go get it. Ain't no such thing as quitting. This a God-given mission. Listen, had to leave Mary Jane. Ain't been high in a minute. Holy Ghost like my bro. I be lit in the spirit. Dog, I been on my grind since 2009. I'm still running the race. And I'm not even tired. All this favor, I'm tripping. Y'all so stuck on religion. Facts. You should give him your heart. For real. All it take is repent. Yeah. You like it, I love it. To hate him above it, it's nothing. Everyday struggle like my name Joe Budden. We light up the darkness like electricians. Back 'em up, kicking it. Boy, I'm back in my bag. Oh, you thought that I left? I could never fall off. Jesus Christ to the death. Want me throw up a prayer? Then I gotta go get it. Ain't no such thing as quitting. Dodge the bull like I'm Pippin. Boy, I'm back in my bag. But you thought that I left? I could never fall off. Never. Jesus Christ to the death. Watch me throw up a prayer. Then I gotta go get it. Ain't no such thing as quitting. This a God-given mission.